So I thought it's about time I did a video for you to let you know what's going on, because I haven't really had the time to do that in the last few weeks. Things obviously have been crazy because I had the book release of the first in the series, Hedge Witch, Witches of the New Forest. I'm quite pleased with how the book, the actual paperback book, turned out and everything. Mainly because I designed the whole thing myself. So yeah, I'm quite pleased with how that turned out, and yeah, looks really good on the inside. It's got all the pages that it needs, unlike that copy that only had half of the pages printed that I got, which threw me into a tailspin. And yeah, I am still heavily in editing mode for the second book. This is just a rough copy. So the follow-up to Hedge Witch, the second in the Witches of the New Forest series. So this is the first mock-up that I've had. I need to make sorry, I can't even talk. My brain is so fried. I need to make this text smaller so that it matches the size of that, so they look better together. But again, it's got a lovely cover that goes all the way across to both pages. So it's probably kind of, sorry, I'm talking behind the book. It's probably a little difficult to see, but it's actually, there's a bridge there with a whole bunch of mist around it, and that's actually a scene from the book itself. So yeah, it looks nice. Again, I designed the cover of this one too, and I quite like it because when they're on the shelves, you know, the colors are matching. So hopefully I'm trying to work with, you know, similar colors. You know, if the colors will change throughout the series, they'll do so gradually, so it looks pretty on the shelf too. I know, small things make me happy, small things like that, what can I say? So yeah, I've got the copy of The Veil Between the Worlds, the second in the Witches of New Forest series, and so I'm just going through it and reading through it and doing final checks for errors, syntax, grammar, anything that it's easier to pick it up in book form rather than looking at it on the screen. So what I do when I'm writing my books is I edit it on my laptop first, and then I do a printout, old-fashioned printout on my old-fashioned printer, because you see things differently when it's actually in print. And so I go through it in print format like this. I go through the whole manuscript like this, do all the corrections. If I have enough time, I'll read that through twice because it's always helpful. And then I will order the first proof of a book like this so that I can see exactly what the cover looks like, because you can't really tell from the computer screen when you are doing the book itself. It's hard to get a good feel of exactly how big is the font. Is it big enough? Like here, I need to adjust that, maybe make the font black instead of white because you can barely read that first line, but that's not something you can see on the computer screen. So I normally have 2 or 3 mock-ups of the actual book before I can accept it as good to go. Plus you can see things in the book that you can't see on the computer screen. Like I said earlier, it's much more apparent if there's any errors that I still haven't spotted yet. I also read through a Kindle version of it as well, Again, because when you see the writing in a different format, you know, I've seen it in print, I've seen it on paper, I've seen it on the screen, but when you see it in Kindle format as well, your eyes see new things because it's a completely new format. I don't know if that's the way it is for everybody, but that's the way it works for me. So I read through my book about 5 or 6 times before I release it. Probably because I'm a bit of a perfectionist, but also, well, I want to give the best work possible that I can. So that's what's eating up all of my time right now. Yeah, but it's amazing and I'm really enjoying it, and I hope to start writing the 3rd book by the end of this week, and start writing it before I go away for Christmas, just to kind of get the ball rolling. And then I'm going away for Christmas. I'm going to visit my family in Canada for a month, so I'll probably continue writing while I'm with my parents in Canada too, so it's good to get the ball rolling. Yeah, so that's pretty much taking up all of my time right now, that and marketing, because I have to do all the marketing myself for this book, and it's a lot of work. It's a lot of work. Taking out ads, asking for reviews, sending copies to magazines so that they can review it and hopefully get the word out. Because, I mean, let's face it, an individual author, their platform is really, really small. You know, if they haven't been lucky and got taken up on like the New York Times bestselling list or Publishers Weekly or whatever it is, if you haven't been taken up by a big platform like that and you're not going through a big publishing house like, I don't know, Penguin Books or whatever, you know, or Harper or whatever it is, HarperCollins, if you're not going through one of the big publishers, it's really, really hard to get the word out. And yeah, I mean, you can have all the platforms in the world, but the amount of people that will actually read your book, that, you know, subscribe to your platform, is probably like 1%. And I don't have the time to grow these platforms as well, and I don't have a dedicated team to help me grow these platforms. You know, I have to write the books and the blogs and create the videos and the vlogs and everything, and do all of that myself, as well as try and market everything and increase my platforms and get the word out. And so it's a little bit overwhelming. And then it's navigating the algorithms of Amazon as well. So in order for your book to kind of rise in the ranks so people will actually see it, you have to sell your books. And in order to sell your books, you need reviews. And people don't really want to buy a book unless it's already had quite a few reviews, because they want to make sure that they're spending their money wisely, which makes complete sense. So I'm desperate for reviews right now. I know it hasn't even been like a full week since the book has been out, but that first week of sales is hugely important on Amazon for a book release. Otherwise, you can just keep falling. It's like you get up in the rankings and then you take a deep dive because everybody that was waiting for your book to come out has bought it, and then all of a sudden it's a plunge down, and then you fall like into this abyss where all authors go to die. No, I'm just kidding. But it's this, you know, this abyss where it's like you have to crawl your way out review by review, and it's like, oh, it's so difficult. It's really, really so difficult when you're doing everything yourself and not going through a major publishing house. So yeah, I'm just really hoping that these books take off. I love writing them. I'm so enjoying being in this world in the New Forest, writing about, you know, all these wonderful characters that have entered my life. And Barnabas wants to say hi. Say hi, Bobo. Okay? He's a good boy. So yeah, that's where I am right now. I need a break. I need a holiday so bad. I'm really looking forward to spending the winter holidays with my family and not worrying about anything at the moment. So, oh, I forgot to say that The Veil Between the Worlds is on track for a release in December, first week of December. Fingers crossed. We'll see how long it takes me to do the edits and get final copies of final proofs of the printed book. So yeah, that's coming up soon. So if you are waiting, because the first book did end on a bit of a cliffhanger, I apologize for that. But the second book kind of deals with that cliffhanger, and at the end of the second book, it's not such a big cliffhanger. It's, you know, I can't do that to people all the time. People are going to get really pissed off at me if I do that. So it resolves at the end of the second book, but there's still a third book coming from Hunter's perspective to round it out, because she still has to go and finish her quest. And then after that, the fourth book is going to be from her sister Ryder's perspective, which is going to be fun. So yeah, I hope you all are well. If you've bought the books, please, please, please write a review on Amazon. Do it on the American Amazon. Do it on the UK Amazon. If you can post your reviews on both those sites, that would really help me, because Amazon doesn't transfer reviews over continents anymore for some reason. So like Canadian Amazon reviews will show up on the US Amazon, but UK Amazon reviews will not show up on the US Amazon anymore, which is really frustrating, because a review is a book is a book, you know. It doesn't matter what country you're reviewing it in. So if you can leave a review on the US and the UK Amazon sites, please do. It's going to seriously help me. You can just do a rating review, but written reviews are really the ones that help authors the most, apart obviously from buying the book. So yeah, thank you all so much for supporting me and for being with me during this crazy time. And yeah, take care, and I hope you all are well. Blessings.